Velocity Man King.
Godzilla! It looks like Godzilla,
Velocity
but using
Man King.
international copyright laws, it's not.
Still, we should run like it is,
Velocity Man
Godzilla!
King.
Though it isn't.
You know, it's funny. These guys look like bankers. Anyways, this is my pathetic attempt to try to overlay sound, but because I'm too lazy to actually edit a video, I'm, I'm trying my best. But that's what we're going to do today, folks. Velocity banking. And did you know that one of the things that a bank fears is too many people paying off their debt quickly? Right. And another thing that a bank fears is people who need money. So let's get into that today. Velocity banking, what is it? Well, according to this clip of Austin Powers, it is this green thing that may or may not be called velocity banking due to international copyright restrictions or something like that. All right. So, how do we get started with velocity banking? Well, first step is creating a budget, income, expenses, leftover checking, savings. And then you have your expense breakdown. Oh man, where'd that come from? And in the expense breakdown, you list every single debt that you have, right? And then here in the bottom line, all you do is just put your average monthly expenses, which includes food, gas, and all the other good stuff that you pay for. And so, what we're going to do with velocity banking is shift our mindset really about how we see our checking and savings accounts, right? So, we have the same income, same expenses, but we're going to do something that makes people a little bit jittery, a little bit afraid, which is saving money, right? So, saving money is kind of seen as a no no in velocity banking. So, whenever you take a look at someone's checking account and they're doing velocity banking, they see the checking account as essentially the middleman of your money, meaning money comes in and then it just goes right out, right? That's really what velocity banking is. Money comes in and it just goes right out. Where does it go to? It goes to something on line of credit. Whereas in traditional banking, we pay our bills and then we put the leftover in our checking and savings. So in traditional average, what we call average American banking. And have you ever heard the term SAD? Standard American diet? Standard American diet, right? SAD. It's the same thing with banking, right? I probably got to come up with a better acronym, but it's the same idea. Average American banking, standard American diet. We're going to do velocity banking here. And what we're also going to do is have access to a line of credit. So, what is a line of credit? It's basically a financial tool where it could borrow money, pay it back, and then use it over and over again. So, this is a line of credit, and then this is a the bank's website. So, for example, let's say I have a $15,000 line of credit. I just say, hey, I just want to put some money from here, borrow it, and put it into my checking account. And all I have to do is click transfer funds, right? So that's pretty much all I have to do. And by the way, if you don't know who I am, I'm going to show you something. If you've never seen this before, I paid off a mortgage in 2 years and 9 months. Yeah, I did. So gotta flex a little bit. That's why you do in every single video, but I did. And also, I have over $739,000 in credit cards and lines of credit. So some people say I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to credit. Maybe, but I'm a person who I don't know what I'm talking about with over $739,000 in credit card limits and lines of credit. All right, so that's what we're gonna do today. Velocity banking. We're gonna assume we have a $30,000 line of credit, personal at a 15% interest rate. Now, here's the secret to getting all these credit lines, including credit cards. Okay, banks don't lend money to people who need it, right? So you don't know how I got all this. I just went to a bank when I didn't need money. Okay, it's really that simple. Actually, it's kind of not, but that's essentially how it works, right? But banks don't lend money to people who need it. If you go to a bank and you need money, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. They're going to look at you as a bad person because people who need money, according to the bank's, you know, transactional data that they have millions and millions of transactions, probably in the billions, they notice that people who need money don't pay you back. So what they're looking for is the right borrower who has money, but is just not smart enough to pay back the debt quickly. Okay, that's who the bank is looking for. But for to make the example demonstration needs, and we're just gonna assume we have a $30,000 line of credit. And by the way, if you want a more realistic example where someone actually sent me the real life case study of 22 debts and they only had like $4 left over, join the YouTube channel. It's only 99 cents, right? It's only 99 cents. So basically, we have exclusive live streams and I go over a more realistic scenario. But for now, I'm going to be a little bit lazy and go over this thing called Godzilla, aka velocity banking. Anyways, all right. So what we do afterwards is that we're going to use a formula called the cash flow index, right? And so if you don't know what it is, it's basically debt divided by payment gives us a ranking system, and the lower the number, the the more bang you get for your buck for paying it off. And by the way, did you hear that smoke alarm? That should tell you I'm actually a faker because I'm too poor to change, or probably lazy to change the smoke alarm battery. It's been chirping for a while, but house hasn't been burned down, so I'm glad to hear that. Anyways, or hear that. Never mind. I'm glad to know my house hasn't burned down yet. All right, so now we have what do we have here? Cash flow index. Think of it as a ranking system. So the high number just essentially means you got to pay it off last. So for example, you get this $200,000 mortgage. Well, if I give someone the mortgage company $200,000, it only gives me $843 back in my cash flow, which is a big no-no, right? Big no-no. I want to get more bang for my buck, so I tackle these, and then later on I'll tackle on the mortgage. So let's go ahead and tackle on the credit card debt first, right? And I'm going to sum it up. And then that's 28,000. So let's just move this credit card debt right here. And then guess what happens? Okay. Just by simply moving the debt, we gain $1,000 extra of cash flow. And then what we're gonna do is put our entire paycheck into the line, take our expenses out, and then rinse and repeat over and over again. Right. So see how easy it is. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. So G2 plus H2 minus 1808.66. And then what we're going to do is take the average daily balance, multiply it by the interest rate, 0.15, and then divide by 12, and then copy and paste. And then we see that in month 18, it's about a year and a half, it gets paid off. So 18 months. And then we have 28K paid off. And then now we just, wow, this is really easy. Maybe that's why the banks fear Godzilla, aka velocity banking, right? So let me put this pause. That's a pretty good facial expression. People can't act anymore these days, you know what I mean? Like, especially like, I think it's because people are in social media too long, so they never practice the craft. But this is incredible facial expression. That's the bankers next door, trying to sell you mortgages and they pay off quickly. You know, if too many people paid off mortgages quickly, I think the economy might collapse. I might be wrong about that, or at least the banking system might be in a shock. You ever try the new Google AI? Apparently, it's pretty good now. It's called like Nano Banana or something like that. And so I heard this from Anton Daniels that he pays like 200 something dollars per month for the business version, and that's how he creates his like pretty good looking thumbnails that look really realistic. Anyways, all right. So paid off credit card debt. So now let's just kind of go to our loan calculator and we just type in month 18 to see what the current balance is. And same deal here, cash flow index. So let's go ahead and move this into the line of credit. Z line of credit, control V, right? And then this is going to be plus, where is it? Plus 15742.48. And then we get an extra 400, almost $400 of cash flow. And then 2,200. And this, right? And then it's going to be 2203.97. And then I'm going to copy and paste. And then blah, 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 blah. And then month 25, car note's gone. But 25 months. And then it's going to be 28 plus 22. 50K. And then we got the student loan and the mortgage. So let's just do that with the student loan month 25. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do that 25, 25. And then quick tip here. If there's a huge oh, I screwed up. What? Oh, I was doing another demonstration, 39 to 7%. So let me just do that. 39,000 and 7%. Okay. That's that looks right. So this is the balance. Now, when you have a huge interest rate difference and the cash flow index level is relatively high, not a really good idea to pay off the entire thing and move into a line of credit. And you'll see this true, especially true with the 30-year mortgage. Now, because I'm getting sleepy and I'm pretty lazy, I'm just going to put this in a velocity banking calculator and we'll just do something called chunking. So basically, let me just kind of do this right here, put in the original terms. And this is relatively easy, right? You know, you just plug and play in and nothing really special about this. But let me just do this. So what's the expenses? 2843.21, 2843.21, and then 15% line of credit, and we'll just do a $6,000 chunk. So what does chunking mean? You're just moving a piece of a loan into the line of credit. And I am going to do this. So where the heck are we? Where are we? So 39,000 balance. 32,954.39. 32,954.39. And then the payment amount is 452.82. All right. So as you see here, payoff is 1.1 years. So now what we do is we just kind of do this, and then we do 25 plus 1.1 times 12. So that'll be 39 months approximately. We just round up, make it easy. And then that will be 89K. And then here with the mortgage, we just do the exact same thing, right? So now I'm just gonna do this A43.21. So what we're doing is we're moving the loan payment to here for 30 years. Oh, did I screw up? This should have been, what was it? This should have been 7%. I mean, it's going to be the same pretty much. Let me just do this. 7. Actually, no, let me do that. Okay, there we go. So if we do 7%, yeah, payoff is still 1.1 years, but you pay a little bit more interest, okay? So let me just going to do redo. Okay, so let me go back here. And then now we do the 30-year mortgage. So this is going to be 30. This is going to be 843.21. And you might say, how do I know this? Because I've done this so many times that it's like, it's just so natural to me. Anyways, so let me go back here. What month are we at? We're at month 39. And people say I go too fast, but that's what happens when you follow what Bruce Lee says, right? What did he say? I fear not the man who does one kick 10,000 times. I fear the man who does. No, I fear the man who does. I need to recite that 10,000 more times, but I fear the man who does one kick 10,000 times, not the man who does 10,000 kicks one time. And I just do the same thing over and over again. So let me just see right here. So 185,959.04. So 185,959.04. And then the original balance, what is it? It is 200,000. And then we say it gets paid off in 4.8 years. Whoop-de-doo. All right, we got that. So 0. And then this is going to be 39 divided by 12 plus 4.8. And then 8.05 years. And we're debt free. That was easy, right? So there might be a reason why they want you to run from Godzilla, aka velocity banking. So anytime you hear the words Godzilla, just scratch it out of your head and just think
velocity banking.
Yes. Maybe I might hire an actual video editor to actually do this for me because this is just me being lazy, right? All right. Well, that is it for today, folks. This is Korean Lanta Mentorship. Subscribe, and we'll make more videos. Have a great day, and I'll see you all on the next one.